Just when will work with you?
Oh my god, I can't believe my eyes.
How can she lift that massive rock all by herself? She's gotta be one of those adepti, surely.
Oh, mighty Adeptus, please give me your blessing so that in the coming year I may reap a more bountiful salary.
This is top tier in size and quality, and the condition it's in is quite simply immaculate. Congratulations, this item is approved for submission. I'm going to award you full marks for the Sunset Vermilionite item. May I take your name?
My name isn't important. I'm not even here to compete. I was just delivering this for some other people. They should be here any minute now.
Shenhua, and Ningguang's little helper.
Ah, so you're the ones behind this. No wonder. The rarest talent turns in the rarest plastrite specimen. But I have to correct you on one point. It's not helper, it's secretary.
Okay then, Miss Secretary, what do you think of the rock we found?
In truth, it is the finest piece of plastrite we have received. If everything goes according to plan, we will use this piece in the As a side note, Lady Ningguang has rented some dwellings in the nearby area to serve as accommodations for the contestants. Now, please excuse me. As you can see, there is still a lot of work to do on the building site.
Shenhua, just now on the way over, pretty much everyone was singing your praise.
Oh, really?
What kind of reaction is that? So strange. Aren't you happy about it? Whenever Paimon gets praised, Paimon can't help but hold her head up high and break into a big smug smile.
I've had similar compliments before. They call me an Adeptus, treat me with great deference and respect, as if I'm set apart from the common folk.
Yeah, 'cause that's how Adepti are. At least the ones we've met are pretty unique and...
But I am not...
Shenhua?
I'm fine. I've been exerting myself quite a lot ever since we set foot in that abode. I'm just a little fatigued.
Well, Byron said that there are some makeshift hotels we can use, right? Let's go check in and take a...
No need. I simply need to find myself a secluded place in the wilderness to sit.
You can't do that. It's dangerous out in the wild on your own. When you're hungry, you go eat something tasty. And when you're tired, you go lie down in a nice, comfy bed.
Okay. If you insist.
Great! Now we're talking. Let's head to our hotel.
Hi there. Checking in, are we? You're just in time. We only have 2 rooms left. Since this was chosen as the building site for the new Jade Chamber, we've had a constant stream of people in this area. And not just workers either. Visitors, business people, tea sellers, all sorts. So business is booming for me today. Very few vacancies. You're lucky you got here when you did.
Great!
One of your rooms is still being cleaned. Here are your keys. All right.
Shenhua, you should go get some rest. We'll hang around outside until the other room's ready. Paimon's gonna go see if there's anything good to eat around here. Paimon couldn't help but notice one of the guests walk in with a huge grilled chicken drumstick before. Let's buy one for Shenhua too. She can have it as a midnight snack.
All right. I will head to my room for now. If you need anything, don't hesitate to disturb me. See you tomorrow.
Hey, isn't that Cloud Retainer? What's she doing here? Let's go and say hi.
One trusts you have met Shen-He. So, are you getting along quite well?
So far, so good. Yeah. So, you know Shenhua too, Cloud Retainer?
Naturally. Save for Ganyu, who spends the majority of her time in Liyue Harbor. All the Adepti living today are acquainted with Shen-He to some...
Cool. So, what's her Adeptus name? And calling her Shenhua feels kind of friendly, but also kind of disrespectful. So Paimon's thinking maybe it'd be better if we called her by her Adeptus name and...
Her Adeptus name? Why, pray tell, would Shen-He have an Adeptus...
Don't all Adepti have a special title they go by?
On this latter point, you are correct.
Oh, right. Wait, what? Paimon neither! This is a real surprise!
Do you mean to say that she presents differently from...
Well, to start with, her problem-solving methods are...
Ah, yes. She was like this all those... One first found Shen-He by chance in a cave. Inside was Shen-He, then aged around 6 years old. In her hand, she held a dagger with which she was confronting...
That sounds so dangerous.
When one arrived, she had already been locked in confrontation with this monster for several days. Most mortal children are fragile. That she was able to endure such terrible danger was due not only to her strong will. One dealt with the monster, yet she still refused to lower her guard. She even pointed her dagger in one's direction and remained ready to strike.
In other words, if you hadn't passed by the...
Not necessarily. Upon one's arrival, one could sense that the god's wrath was gradually receding.
That's still so dangerous, though. Why was a tiny little kid back...
Alas, the mortal world is rife with suffering of every kind, and she had experienced her fair share of this. Indeed, it is one to whom she refers. Shen-He has an extraordinary constitution. However, her homicidal urges did not subside with a... Mooncarver once performed a divination for her. He declared that her fate is to bear the curse of calamity. Consumed by malevolent energy, she is prone to bring harm to those around her. Such is the magnitude of the danger this... The red ropes have indeed served to keep her calmer and more content. They also seem to have... It is only by fate that people's paths may cross. Now that Shen-He's path has crossed with yours.
Oh, now Paimon gets it. You came out here to check up on Shenhua because you were worried about her.
Huh. You dare draw such a facile conclusion on the nature of one's present excursion? Incorrect. The truth is that while Liyue Harbor may seem peaceful today, Ningguang once made a bold assertion that this is to be the era of the contract between Liyue and the humans. If she handles it admirably, one is willing to be a witness to her achievements. But if she does not, let us conclude our conversation here for today. One has occupied enough of your time, and night is approaching.
So, Shenhua isn't an Adeptus after all. She just grew up around the Adepti.
Where do you want to go now?
No wonder she doesn't like being treated as an Adeptus. Having everyone falling over themselves to show...
Master has relayed my situation to you, I take.
Oh? How did you know?
I'd intended to wait until you came back before going to. I was worried that something may have happened to you. On top of this, you have been acting very strangely around me. After all, Master is very talkative.
Sorry, Shenhua. Paimon had you down as an adeptus.
It's okay. I don't mind. The fault is mine for not explaining everything to you sooner, because in my experience, trying to explain is a futile pursuit. Still, though you mistook me for an adeptus, you never treated me as distant and unapproachable. For this, I am very grateful and—
To be fair, we've met our fair Anyway, now it's settled. From now on, you're our friend.
Got it. Although I don't know quite what it entails.
Great! Well, now that we're all rested up, we should start searching for the other 2 items. But before we do that, let's go to the building site and ask Ningguang's little helper. After all, Sunset Vermilionite is so rare. Paimon doubts many competitors will really be able to find it. Oh, and another thing. We bought some grilled chicken drumsticks on the way back last night. There was a place just outside. Here's one for you, Shenhua. Try it! They're so good.
I concur. It has a rich flavor, far more agreeable than those I've cooked for myself in the wilderness in the past.
Look! The Jade Chamber is floating into the sky! But it seems to be tied down by something.
That's because it's not finished.
Hey, Bywin! And hey, Beto! And hey!
Given the enormous scale of the Jade Chamber, we split the construction work into 2 phases. Before we find some suitable plastrite, we build the Jade Chamber's keel at ground level. Once the plastrite is ready, we place it into the keel and let the partially constructed Jade Chamber wrap. The remainder of the construction work is then carried out at that altitude.
Miss Bywin, we've brought some new materials to
One moment. The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plastrite provided by you. Lady Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more of your work.
Wow, can't believe you sourced the plastrite so quickly. It's the key piece of the puzzle.
Beto? You're joining the Jade Chamber contest too?
Sure am. I happened to get my hands on a chunk of sun.
Huh. So even though it's rare, we're not the only ones who managed to get a hold of it.
Oh, I've got some introductions to do. This is the renowned Miss Yun, or Yunjin, probably the most famous figure in the Liyue opera scene.
Greetings.
These 2 are Paimon and the Traveler, both good buddies of mine.
Shenhua. I am there.
Good to meet you. A friend of a friend is my friend too. Or, as I like to say, a mate of a crewmate is part of the crew. Miss Yun is also here for the contest. Turns out she needed to borrow a boat, so we came.
It's an honor to finally meet you both. I've heard much about you. To be honest with you all, I am in great need of this opportunity to ask Lady Ningguang a question. That's why I joined the contest. Thanks to my—
Wow. So it looks like the 3 of us are competitors now.
Excuse me for prying, Miss Shenhe, but are you competing as well?
No, I don't have any questions for
In that case, I have a proposal to make. Lady Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials will be awarded the chance to ask a question. Well, there are 3 teams here. We can split the prize between us. Instead of competing against each other, we could work together to secure the—
Sounds great, but how does that change things?
I think I see where you're going with this, Miss. The plastrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all 3 of us managed to get our hands on it. How'd I do? Is that what you had in mind?
Precisely.
Huh.
Okay then. All right, I'll go first. I have some leads on these wonder cores. From what I've heard, the core itself is really not that difficult to make.
We will head into town and seek advice from Master Zhang of—
Wonderful. We'll split into teams then, and whoever makes progress first brings all of us a step closer to victory. I'm gonna take off. See you later.
Okay, let's go. By the way, what question
I'm looking for a venue to host the performance of our new opera. Lady Ningguang has excellent judgment.
Ooh, what's the opera called? Paimon wants to go see it.
The opera is a labor of love by my father. It's called The Divine Damsel of Devastation.
Ah, hello. Are you here for something off the shelf?
Excuse me, Master Zhang. We were wondering if you'd heard of something called a Wonder Core.
Of course I have. Sorry, who's asking?
My name is Yunjin. Perhaps you don't know me, but I believe that you forged some weaponry for my father in the past.
Yunjin? Stage use? Oh, so you must be Miss Yoon. Sorry, my brain's finally caught up. It's not used to doing much beyond bashing a hammer all day. Everyone's heard of you, Miss Yoon. So, you're here to ask about Wonder Cores, huh? As it happens, I do know how to make them. The types of ore needed to make Wonder Cores are a little hard to come by. Lady Ningguang supplied them herself last.
No, we were gonna ask you what kinds of ore we need.
Sure. Well, you'll need two kinds. Star Splinter Iron and Subrosium. If I remember correctly, it could take some work, but if you stick with it, you'll find some eventually. I'm really not sure. Of course, it's probably just hearsay. If you want my advice, start...
Mount Tianheng.
Interestingly enough, the story of I hear the view there is quite Perhaps it can give me some inspiration. I came to Mount Tianheng once with my father as a child. I remember it being such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top. This is quite a trip down memory lane for me. Look at these majestic, towering... No wonder the legend of the Divine Damsel of Devastation.
The Divine Damsel of Devastation is... What's the story about, though?
It's the story of a girl
Cool! A hero story? They're Paimon's favorite!
The legend first arose in this area. In that village, there was a loving couple the wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. The vile and vicious monster told the villagers,
"What a nasty piece of work!"
But the monster was so terrible and so strong that all within the village were terrified, just while they were discussing whose child would be given over to the monster.
No, don't do...
Unbeknownst to anybody else, she was concealing an exorcist's blade. She approached the monster's lair, feigning fear and trepidation. Her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti, and they took her as one of their own. Her story became the stuff of legend, and so, destined to grace the mortal realm for but a brief moment, she vanished like a wisp of smoke into thin air.
I really like this story, but I personally think that perhaps I'm not sure she deserves...
I've never... Opera is always an interpretation of the events. When my father wrote the script for this play, I suppose his intention was to inspire...
I think it's a great story.
Well, it sure inspired Paimon!
Give me a moment to compose myself.
This should be enough star splinter iron. Now we just need to find that Subrosium.
I charge a higher rate to meet out. Master Zhang said we should ask the locals for help. Why don't we try there?
Hey, there really is someone here. Yunjin, looks like you were right. Excuse us, sir. Can we ask you something? Huh. He didn't...
Hello, sir. We were just passing by and wanted to ask if you happen to know anything about Subrosium.
Is he trying to tell us to look for clues in the village? Shenhua, Yunjin, let's have a look around.
Sorry, you can go ahead without me. I'd like to have a word with this gentleman. If that's okay with you, Uncle Mingjin.
It's
Shenhe.
Shin. You're alive. The rumors were true. I'm sorry, I don't know how to find Subrosium, but I think you can find some information in... This place is deserted now. No one ever comes here.
Huh? You know this guy, Shenhua?
Thank you, kind sir. Don't worry. Mingjin has no ill intention towards Miss Shenhe.
Okay, then let's see...
We can't have treasure unaccounted for.
Huh. What's this? So... Now that I think about it, she does behave rather like... So that's why I've been getting the strangest... According to this text, the divine... And... She didn't volunteer. Oh... The truth is even more lamentable than the opera. Now I understand why Shenhe said the girl would... Oh...
Solidify!
So it seems that Shenhe's father thought he was summoning a benevolent deity using a magic incant. His obsessive yearning for his deceased wife led to a... Still, I do wonder what the connection is between Shenhe and Mingjin.
We've looked everywhere, but still no mention of Subrosium. Let's have a look over there. This is it! So basically, we need to go to the middle of the lake south of Mount Tiana. Let's go back and tell Shen...
Gather! One year when I was back visiting, I heard a story about a white-haired adeptus from a merchant passing by. I never imagined it was you. I was a very close friend of your father's. I could have stopped him from performing the summoning ritual. I had plenty of chances, but I couldn't bring myself to stand up to... I bring flowers back here every year.
Apologize for what? If you'd stopped him, he'd only have found another way. There is nothing he wouldn't have done for his true love. Nothing.
Do you still hate him?
I don't know what I feel. I'm told my fate is to bear the curse of calamity, so my master bound my soul with red ropes to curb my aggression. So if you ask me how I feel about the past, if I hate my father or not, the truth is...
It must have been so tough for you all these years.
Shenhe, we're back!
Oh, then I will leave you all in peace. Shenhe, it brings me some solace knowing that you are okay. I'll tell you more about the old times next time we meet.
Thanks, mister. We found some info in the end. Shenhe, look. This tells us how to find Subrosium. All we gotta do is go to the middle of that lake.
Let's go then.
Miss Shenhe, there's something I'd like to talk to you. Just now, in the village, we found your father's diary.
Why?
I know I say that opera always deviates from the truth, but now that the main character is standing right here in front of me...
It's okay. I like your version.
But,
My master once said that the day I learn how to use my strength for the good of others, so I hope that one day I might be brave enough to stand up and protect others, just like the girl in the opera. But I've never thought this way before, and I wonder whether I will continue to think.
Don't worry. I believe you. In fact, I think maybe you've already started to be...
Shenhe! Yunjin! Cut the chit-chat! We can't let someone else beat us too!
What brings you here? Have they found a solution to the danger in the sea? Ningguang, something has happened in Guyun Stone Forest. According to the contract, but these things can be unpredictable. Only a single mountain lies between here and Liyue Harbor. If things get out of control, I will defend this place.
That's everything we need! Let's head back and report in! Paimon's curious if Beto's made any progress.
Oh, goodness.
So, are they okay?
This is some top quality ore you found. Guess now it's my time.
Hey everyone, how's the A-team doing? I ran into a bit of a brick wall on...
Leave the wonder course to me. Don't worry.
Much obliged, Master Zhang. We should look into the Adepti...
I'll sort that out.
Oh? You got this?
Yes. I have been training with the When we first met, I told you In fact, I came specifically to deliver a Master also said she hoped that I can take this opportunity. Maybe it won't work for me to stay here after all.
Without knowing the ins and outs of your situation, but now that our paths have crossed...
Thank you. So, Master Zhang, I'll need...
Fine by me. I'm actually...
Whew. The sigils are ready.
I've finished forging the things you asked for, too.